So,
Have you ever had a brilliant idea for a video game that you have absolutely zero idea how to code? Yeah, for decades, that's pretty much where the dream ended. But what if AI could change all that? What if you could build your dream game just by describing it? Okay, let's really dig into this and see if that's pure fantasy or the new reality.
This question from a Reddit user named Antarctic Convoy, it just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? This is the exact question on the minds of so many aspiring creators out there. Can someone with literally no experience build something playable from the ground up using only AI? That's the powerful promise we're going to explore.
All right, so to get to the bottom of all this, here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the no-code dream. Then we'll look at how AI actually, builds the games. After that, we'll check out the tools you can use today, weigh the incredible promise against the current reality, and finally, we'll take a peek at what the future of creation really holds.
For years and years, game development has felt like this giant locked fortress, It's been guarded by these super complex coding languages and
Pure fantasy or the new reality?
This question from a Reddit user named Antarctic Convoy, it just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? This is the exact question on the minds of so many aspiring creators out there. Can someone with literally no experience build something playable from the ground up using only AI? That's the powerful promise we're going to explore.
All right, so to get to the bottom of all this, here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the no-code dream. Then we'll look at how AI actually, builds the games. After that, we'll check out the tools you can use today, weigh the incredible promise against the current reality, and finally, we'll take a peek at what the future of creation really holds.
For years and years, game development has felt like this giant locked fortress, It's been guarded by these super complex coding languages and really steep technical walls. The whole no-code dream is about throwing those gates wide open and letting creativity, not just your technical skill, be the only thing you need to get inside.
And believe me, the stakes here are absolutely enormous. The gaming industry is a massive, over $200 billion market. So unlocking that for millions of new creators, that could unleash a total tidal wave of new ideas and whole new kinds of experiences we've never even seen before.
So here's the thing to remember. Making a game the old-fashioned way isn't just one skill. It's a whole bunch of them, all rolled into one. You need to be a programmer, maybe a 3D artist, and an expert in really complicated game engines like Unity or Unreal. And that complexity has kept the door shut for so many people. So how on earth does AI plan to solve this? Well, it's not exactly magic, but it gets pretty darn close. Let's pop the hood and take a look at the technology that turns a simple text prompt into a project you can actually play.
The secret sauce here is something called a multimodal large language model, or MLLM for short. Just think of it like a super-powered AI. It doesn't just understand words, it can look at text, images, and other kinds of information all at once to generate brand new, really complex stuff, like the actual C# scripts you need to run a game.
And this diagram right here, it perfectly illustrates the whole process. This is a framework from a research paper called UniGen. It shows how a simple game description, we're talking just plain English, gets fed into the system that, on the other end, spits out a complete, playable Unity project. It's wild.
Now, what's really cool about how UniGen works is that it breaks the job down into 4 specialized AI agents. First, you have the planning agent, which takes your idea and turns it into a structured blueprint. Then, the generation agent gets to work writing all the code. After that, the automation agent actually puts all the pieces together inside the game engine. And finally, a debugging agent helps you find and fix any errors that pop up. It's literally like having an entire development team in a box.
Okay, so UniGen is a research project, it's academic. But what can you actually use right now, today? Let's switch gears and look at the creator's new toolbox and see what's really out there.
And wow, this list is growing fast. You've got platforms like Instance.so and BuildBox that were pretty much designed from the ground up for AI creation. And at the same time, established players like Roblox, GDevelop, and GameMaker are all integrating some really powerful AI tools to make development easier for everybody.
So if you're looking to start, there are basically 2 main paths you can take. For total beginners, making a browser-based game is by far the easiest way in. You just give the AI a prompt and it can generate a single file you can play instantly. For more complex games, though, you'll probably use AI to write scripts for powerful engines like Unity or Roblox, which gives you way more creative control.
Now, this all sounds absolutely incredible, right? Maybe, almost
Too good to be true. And that brings us to the most important part of this whole explainer, separating the amazing promise from the current, and let's be honest, sometimes messy reality.
First, let's talk about the promise. Research on that Unigen framework we mentioned found that it could cut the development time for a simple game prototype by a staggering 91.4%. I mean, what took an experienced human developer over 2 hours to do, the AI-assisted process did in less than 12 minutes. That isn't just an improvement, that's a paradigm shift.
But here's the reality check, and it's summed up perfectly by this Reddit user. It's not automatic's law. It's not a magic button. You can't just say, make me a hit game and walk away. It still takes work, it takes patience, and a whole lot of back and forth.
And this comment really gets to the core of the frustration a lot of new users face. The AI can write perfectly functional code that just has a logical flaw, a rookie mistake, and it has no idea it's done anything wrong. It works fantastically if you already know what to look for, but it can be a real headache if you don't.
So here's the bottom line, the most crucial takeaway. Right now, AI is not an autonomous developer. It's an incredibly powerful assistant, a co-programmer as one person put it. It can speed up your work, write tons of code for you, and build prototypes in minutes, but you are still the director. You're the one in charge. So, if that's where we are today, where are we headed tomorrow? I mean, this technology is advancing at an absolutely mind-boggling pace. Let's take a quick peek over the horizon.
The future is promising things that sound like they're straight out of science fiction. We're talking about generating entire complex games from a single text prompt, creating dynamic worlds that actually change and evolve based on how you play, and non-player characters that have unique adaptive personalities and remember their conversations with you.
And all of this leaves us with one final fascinating question. For decades, the stories that we've played have been shaped by the people who could master all those technical hurdles of making a game. But if AI truly breaks down those barriers, if anyone with an idea can bring it to life, what new worlds, what new perspectives, and what incredible new stories will we all get to play next?